Hello everyone. Today we're learning Bobikama Daf Kuf. So we're going to start from Daf Tzadik Tes on base, about 7 lines up. Itmar, we learned Amar Dino Lashulchani. Someone goes to a money changer and he asks him, someone's paying me this dinner, this coin. Is this a good coin or not good coin? And the Shulchan says, yeah, this is a great coin. You should accept it as payment. The Nimtara, he takes the coin and then he found out that it's not a good coin. Toni Choda, in one brayse it says, Umun Potter Ediot Chayev. If he was expert, he's Potter, and if he's not the expert, he's Chayev, because if he's not expert, he shouldn't have said that he knows that it's a good coin. He should have said, I don't know. V'tanya Idoch, and in the other brayse it says, Bein Uman Ben Ediot. It doesn't matter if it's an expert money changer or not a expert. The din is he's Chayev. What's pshat? It doesn't make sense. It's a stir between the brayses. Amar Papa. Kitanya Uman Potter, the brayse that said that the Uman is Potter, expert is Potter, is talking about Kigoin, Danku ve'isa. It's names of people. They very, very big experts. They are Potter. But when it says the Uman is Chayev, it means a normal expert, not like a top professor. Ela b'maito. If we're talking about someone like Danke Issa, they know exactly each coin. How did they have a mistake? So the Gemara told Besikasa Chadosa. They had a mistake with a new coin, meaning that Daishaita at that time the Nofak Metute Sikasa. At that time, literally, a new coin came out and the old coin was cancelled. So even experts like Danko and Issa wouldn't know that, because it's literally now they changed the coins, so they had no idea. So therefore, such a mistake, they'll be potter, because you don't have to expect that literally at this moment this coin will be possible under the new coin. So that woman, the Achze Dinro Rabchia. Now Rashi explains that Rabchia, the Rav, he used to take care of the safe of Reb Chia, his uncle. So this woman showed a coin, Achzadinu Reb Chia, to Reb Chia. Amalo Ma'alya, who it's a good coin. Lemochron, the next day, Asole Kamei, she came in front of him, V'amurlei, and she told him, Achzise, I tried using it, I showed it to other people, V'amurli Bishahu, and he told me it's a bad coin, and I accepted it because of you. V'loi konofikli, and I can't use it. Amale le Rav, so Rab Chia told his nephew to Rav, Zil chalfeni nialo, go take it off her, and give her a good coin, a good dinner. V'ksoiva pinkosi, and write on my diary, on my, where I write all the monies, din esek bish. This was a bad deal. Why is it a bad deal? Because I wasn't gaining anything. When a guy does a business deal, so you always have to expect that he might go wrong. And you understand that it could go wrong because he might go right. That's what you're expecting, and you'll make money. But this is a bad deal because I had nowhere to gain, because even if it would be correct, I wouldn't gain anything. So this is a bad deal. Basically, remind me, maybe I shouldn't ever tell anyone that this is a good coin. Why should I go into it? Well, why am I gaining? Ask the Gemara, what's the difference between Danko and Issa? That we said that there were people who were experts like then, that they potter mishum deloy tzrichile migmar, because they have nothing more to learn. Rab Chia nami loy lavle migmar kaboy. Rab Chia also was an expert with coins like Danko and Issa. So why was he paying? We said that someone like Danko Issa is potter. So the Gemara, Rab Chia lifni mishura sadinu dova. Rab Chia did no meikadin. Meikadin, you really potter. He did lifni mishura sadin. Kedetoni Rabbi Yosef, like Rabbi Yosef learns from the Pasuk. There's a Pasuk in Shmois. I'm going to read the whole Pasuk. V'izartim esem, and teach them esachukim, v'esatoris, v'idatuleim, esaderech, yelchu bo, v'esamaisa asher yasu. So we darshan, v'idatuleim, what does that mean? You should teach them what? The Beis Chayim, to learn Torah, Rashi says. Esaderech, v'gmilas chasodim, to do chesed. Yelchu, v'bukar cholim, to go visit sick people. The Gemara asks in Eile Mitzias that l'chora, that's also chesed. The Gemara answers that there's a difference between bukar cholim, that is somehow a person who takes a bit of the illness away because he's in the same mazel. Ba, we learn from the word ba, the kvura, to help with kvura. Esamaisa ze'adin, ve'alocha, choshel mishpat. Asher yasun, we learn zu lifnum reshuras adin, that technically what the way they should act is not always what it says in choshel mishpat. They should be act lifnum reshuras adin. So that's why Chia acted lifnum reshuras adin, even though the lefi choshel mishpat, someone who's an expert like him doesn't need to pay, but because he wanted to be extra good, like we learn from Yasun, so that's why he paid this woman. Rish Lakish, he showed the coin to Rabbi Elazar. Omar Malihu. So Rabbi Elazar said, yeah, this is a great coin, you should accept it as payment. Omar Leichazi, you should see, I'm trusting you. Omar Leikisamchos Olai Maile Memro. What are you trying to say that you're saying that you're trusting me by that my advice and listening to me and accepting this coin? That if we find out that it's not good coin, I'll need to swap it for you to a good coin. You are the one who says that it's Rameh who holds the doin dina de garmi, because it's not mazik biodayim over here. He's only because of him a hezek happened to him, but he didn't cause a hezek biodayim because he said it's a good coin and he accepted it. He was nizak. That's garmi, and you're the one who said Rameh who holds dina de garmi. My love, don't you mean Rameh v'lo yisvirun kavosei? It's Rameh, but I don't hold like him. Omalei lo, no. When I said Rameh, I meant to say Rameh v'svirun kavosei. Yes, Rameh is dandy in the garmi, and I hold like him, and therefore, if I'm going to accept this coin because of you, and I'll find out afterward that it's a bad coin, you're going to need to swap this coin. Ask the Gemara, hey Rameh, which Rameh is the one? Where do we find the Rameh holds the dandy in the garmi? Ilay Rameh, and then the bracket has a Daled Lamed Mem Pei, because we have 4 Ramehs over here, and each one is resembling a different one. So which one? Ilay Rameh that says Dan, that's a Daled, the Don. Esadin, someone, a Dayan Paskin, the Psak, Ziko Esachayev, he said Reuven doesn't owe Shimon money, but really he owes Shimon money. And he took away the mashkin from him. Or he said Reuven owes money, but really Reuven doesn't owe money, and now he lost. Time Sator, he said about something that it's Tome, and he said, oh, I'll prove that it's Tome, and he took a sheret and he touched the Torah de Kaperes, that really Torah, now he made it Tome, because he wanted to prove his point, but he literally made it Tome. That's how Rashi explains, and this is, we're going to see in the Maskana, this is what we're talking about, all these cases where he literally did it in his own hands. Tiris Atome, there was something that was Tome, and he said, no, it's Torah, and even here I'll mix it with other fruit. And now by him mixing it with other fruit, the Torah, he made them Tome now. He caused damage. Masha also osui. The psak is kaim, ve'shalem beisoi. And he has to pay from his own pocket for the damage he's caused. So you can see it's only groma because he paskin, and because of that the guy lost. And the Gemara doesn't know yet that it's talking about that he did it literally, he put a sheret on the fruit, etc., like we said. So the Gemara, Itma lo, we learned on it. Omar Biloi, Omar Rav, V'hu, Shnotav V'nosam B'yad. It's talking about where he literally touched the sharets on the fruit, or he mixed the Tomeh fruit with the Torah fruit, so therefore he was mazik b'yodayim. So you don't have a raya from that, that's not Grammi. Elohara Me'al, it's a different Rameh, Ditnan, Litzvoya, that's a lamed of Litzvoya, Loi Odoim, he gave the artist to paint it red, he told him, please paint this wool red, V'tzova Shochar, and he painted it black. Shochar, he asked him to paint it black, V'tzova Odoim, and he painted it red. Rameh Oim Enoisin made Simroi. He has to pay for the damage he caused. So we could see, because you could see that he's chayiv dina de garmi. Bit shver what the havamin is over here, because the Gemara's teretz dichuy is very posh. So the Gemara asam ka'avid b'yodayim. He literally changed from what he said. He did it in his own hands. He caused the damage. Elo horameh. This is a rameh ditnan. What we learned in the Mishnah mesachech. That's a mem from the brackets. Gafnoi al gabe tvose shel chaver. So there is a din of kilei akarim that you're not allowed to grow in a vineyard wheat, and if you do grow, they both become osabano. So someone covered his vineyard onto the wheat of his friend, areze kiddush. It made it all kodesh. Doesn't mean kodesh over here like dusha. It means like osa v'chayev, and he has to pay. So the Gemara awesome nami the covered b'yodayim. He covered the wheat with his own hands. That's a mazik b'yodayim. It's not garmi. Elohara me'er. This is the Rameh. The Tanya mechitzas akerem shenifritzo. That's the last pay in the brackets. So there was two fields. One is a vineyard, and next to it is someone who's growing wheat. And the din is you're allowed to grow it because there's a fence in between. You're allowed to grow them. You don't have to separate them 4 amas. You could grow them one next to each other. So Reuben and Shimon had these two fields next to each other, and the fence fell down. So the din is, if the wheat grows a certain amount, it becomes osabano. So it fell down the fence. So he tells him, please put up the fence, because otherwise it'll be osabano. Nifritza, it fell down again. He tells him again to put up the fence. If he gave up and he didn't put up the fence, the one who's meant to put up the fence, and it's talking about that the person who owns a vineyard is meant to put up the fence, and he didn't put up the fence, and now the wheat grew meanwhile, echod mimosayim, arei the kiddush, made the osa, v'chayev b'acharusa, and he needs to pay. The owner of the vineyard needs to pay. So the chayr over there, that's a clear raya. That we could see over there that it's dina de garmi, because he didn't do anything. The fence just fell. All what he did was he didn't build the fence again, and we still say yichayev to pay. So we could see that we done dina de garmi. So that's the Rameh that we said before. They hold dina de garmi is chayev. Says the Mishnah. So now the Mishnah is going to have here 3 cases of someone who gave wool to the artist to paint, and there's 3 different cases what happened. I know it's in Tzemel, someone gave wool to the painter, and the way you paint the wool, you put it in a pot, and you type of cook it with the paint, and the color goes into the wool, and then he left it on the fire for too long, and it got burnt, and now it's not worth anything. Noisilod made simroi. He has to pay for the wool that he damaged. That's case number 1. Case number 2, tzavoi kohuru. He gave it for him to paint, and told him, paint it red, please. But he painted it with a bad red. He did it kohuru like with an iron, like mechura, ugly. And the Gemara is going to explain. Rashi said that it's so bad that he did it wrong. He used bad paint. He used the end of the paint from last round, and therefore he's yodel atechtonin, like we're going to see. So he painted it with bad paint, and now it came out ugly. So let's say the wool is worth £10. The shvach is how much it's worth now. So let's say it's worth now £20. And the yitzia is how much the color cost, the paint cost. So ima shvach that's worth now £10 extra. Yes, yitzia is more than the expenses. All he needs to pay is only the expenses. So let's say the paint cost £5, and now it's worth, the wool was worth £10, now it's worth 20. So now that it's painted ugly, it's worth 20, went up in 10, and the expenses are 5. All he needs to pay is only the £5, the paint value. But he doesn't have to pay him what he agreed with him at the beginning for the job. If the paint, let's say, is worth 5, and it went up in value only in 2, he only has to pay him 2. Because he did a bad job, and he did it with the wrong paint. That's case number 2. Case number 3, he asked the painter to paint it red. We've seen this before. With Tzova Shochar, and he painted it black. Shochar, he asked him to paint it black with Tzova Odoim, and he painted it red. So here we have a machlokes. Because he changed from what he said, he's like a ganev and he's koine b'shinui. So now the wool belongs to the painter, but he has to pay for the wool that he basically stole off the owner. So he pays him for the price of the wool. Rabbi Yehuda says no. Because this guy changed and didn't do the wrong thing, we give him a knas, Rashi explains. And therefore, so now he asked him to paint it, the wool's worth £10. He asked him to paint it black, and he painted it red, or the opposite. So if now it's worth more, let's say it went up in value in £10, it's worth 20 now. And that's more than the yitzia because the paint cost £5. No, yitzia. All he has to pay is the £5, doesn't have to pay what they agreed to pay at the beginning. If the paint, the expenses are more than the value that went up, it went up only in £2, he only has to pay the £2 of going up in value, because we give him a knas because he changed and he loses out. So the Gemara, my korur, what does korur mean? Omar Rav Nachman, Omar Rabba Bar Chana. Rav Nachman says in the name of Rabba Bar Chana, kalbois. It means kalbois. Straight away asks the Gemara, what does my kalbois? What does kalbois mean? Omar Rabba Bar Shmuel, Rabba in the name of Shmuel says, the son of Shmuel says, Kafra Doidi. He painted it with the end of the paint. He didn't use good paint, he used bad paint, and therefore we say Yoda Latachtoina, and he loses out the painter. Thank you very much. There was a very nice and short shir.